Hey book lovers, Victoria here and you're watching My Books Areme, and today I'm bringing you my DEWEY'S 24-hour readathon. It is near the end of April, which means it is nearly DEWEY'S 24-hour readathon time. For those who don't know, this is a twice yearly readathon held at the end of April and usually mid to end of October. And as the name suggests, it goes for 24 hours. But the really cool thing about it is that instead of starting when it is 12 p.m. your time in your time zone, everyone starts at the exact same time all over the world, so we're all reading in the exact same 24-hour period. The readathon is this Saturday, the 28th of April, and for me, living in Australia, I actually start, it was either 9 or 10 p.m. at night. I can't quite remember. I will double check before I actually start the readathon. So for me, technically this readathon mainly takes place on the 29th. I'm actually really glad that it starts quite late for me. I am someone who goes to bed at some point after midnight, so I'm just going to read for a few hours, go to bed, get a few hours sleep, and then get up and power through the rest of the readathon and try to read as much as I can. So I have 8 books on my TBR, definitely not going to read all of them, but it's a really good selection and I feel like I can get through a good number of them because they are graphic novels. This is the 24-hour readathon is fantastic for reading graphic novels. You can cram as many in as possible and really boost up your reading goal for the year. So firstly, the graphic novels, which will be my main focus for the day, and the first one is Witches Volume 1 by a whole bunch of people. I've had this book for a while now and I've been wanting to read it like in October for Halloween, but never get around to it, so I want to read it now to see if it's any good, and then I can pick up like the next volume for Halloween and stuff like this. When the Rooks family moved to the remote town of Litchfield, New Hampshire to escape a haunting trauma, they're hopeful about starting over, but something evil is waiting for them in the woods just beyond town, watching from the trees, ancient and hungry. I've heard really good things about this, so I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy it now that I'm finally getting around to reading it. Another graphic novel that I'm so excited to read, and I can't believe I haven't read it yet because like the second volume was amazing and ended on a cliffhanger, and I got this and I just don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Anyway, that is The Wicked and the Divine, Volume 3, Commercial Suicide by Kieran Gillian, Jamie McLeave, and some other people. Volume 2 ended on an amazing cliffhanger and I'm excited to read this one. I might read this one first, I think, just because I'm excited to see what happens in this one. Every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years, they are all dead. It's happening now, it's happening again. So these gods are reincarnated as young pop stars and very influential, and there is some really weird stuff happening this time now that they're back, and there are secrets and deception, and the artwork in this is generally amazing as well. So I'm excited to see what happens after how the previous volume ended. Yep. Another one that I'm really excited to read, and I feel like it's going to be a really interesting one, and yeah, is The Park Bench by Chaboty. I don't really know how to say that. This is a graphic novel that actually has no words in it at all, and it's meant to be it sounds like it's going to be really good, and just the few times I flicked through it, it looks like it's going to be a really interesting and moving and insightful read. It's essentially just sharing like the moments that a simple park bench would witness, like, you know, everything. But yeah, it looks really good and I can't wait to read this one. Then we have Username Uprising by Jo Sugg, the third and final book in the Username series. I was actually sent this for a review last year when it came out and I still have not read it, but I really want to get this read and to finish the trilogy. I'm excited to see how Jo has ended this, so hopefully this will be another one that I will get to and get through during the readathon. This next one, I'm including it on my TBR, but I don't think I'll read it simply because I want to wait till I get the other 3 volumes in the series so that way I can just binge them all, and that is Charmed Season 10 Volume 1. This is the 5th volume of the Charmed graphic novels. They are the official continuation of the Charmed series when Zenescope got the rights. I actually think they've stopped making these graphic novels now, but I do need to get the other 3. I really want to get the other 3 volumes before going into this one because I feel like this is going to be epic, but I'm still excited nonetheless to read this. Maybe I'll get to it during the readathon, who knows. So I've got 3 books I also want to get to. The first one is The Shadow House Book 1, The Gathering by Darren Pawlowski. I'm actually 70 pages through this already. I talked about this in my most recent book haul, but it is about this house that is sinister, and there are these 5 kids who go there all under different pretenses, and they realise that there's more to this place than meets the eye, and maybe they might not be able to escape. It's also really cool because there's pictures, there's photos throughout, if I can find one. So that, yeah, there are photos throughout, and this actually has an app connected to it that has extra bonus stories. So hopefully, out of all the novels, this will be another one that I really want to finish because I've already started it, but it should be a quick read. I'm enjoying it so far. Then I also have Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. This was kindly sent to me for review. It's only just come out this past week everywhere, I think. Definitely here in Australia. I feel like everywhere it's only just come out. But this one sounds awesome, and it's like my next actual proper read outside of the readathon, so this one will definitely be one I do start during the readathon. Theodosa was 6 when her country was invaded and her mother, the Fire Queen, was murdered. On that day, the Kaiser took Theodosa's land and her name. Theo was crowned Ash Princess, a title of shame to wear in her new life as prisoner. For 10 years, Theo has been captive in her own palace. She's endured the relentless abuse and ridicule of the Kaiser and his court. She's powerless, surviving in her new world only by burying the girl she was deep inside. Then one night, the Kaiser forces her to do the unthinkable. With blood on her hands and all hope of reclaiming her throne lost, she realizes that surviving is no longer enough, but she does have a weapon. Her mind is sharper than any sword, and power isn't always won on the battlefield. This one sounds awesome, and I'm excited to read it. And even if I don't get to it during the readathon, it will definitely be one of the next books I pick up. Then finally we have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. This one I've been wanting to read for ages, and I've suddenly recently got the urge, like, yes, I want to read that at some point soon. So I'm putting it on my TBR. Maybe I'll start it, who knows. I feel like I might, just because I'm really tempted to read it. But this is the first book in, I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy. I know there's a 3rd book coming out later this year. But we are following, I think, our character is Audrey Rose, who is solving mysteries. Anyway, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny I was the girl who loved the Ripper. It sounds so good. I've heard amazing things about this book. I've heard amazing things about the 2nd book, and I've heard amazing things, so I really, really want to read it. So hopefully, maybe I will start this one during the readathon. All the books that are on my DEWEY'S 24-hour readathon TBR, as I said, I don't think I'm going to finish every single one of them. I definitely want to try and finish as many graphic novels as I can. Maybe finish The Shadow House because I've already started it, and hopefully start on one of the novels. I don't know, we will see how we go. It's a lot, but I'm kind of glad there's a lot on my TBR because it means there is a lot that I can choose from and have a bit of everything. So there is still time to sign up for the readathon. I will leave a link to the website below so you can go check out, learn a bit more, go sign up. It's also really fun because there are new mini challenges every single hour for a chance to not only win prizes, particularly books, but also gives you a good chance to connect with other readers doing the readathon and just give you a bit of a break while reading. If you want to keep up to date with my progress during the readathon, I'll be posting updates on Twitter and Instagram. All my social links are in the description, so go check them out. And let me know if you're doing the readathon as well, maybe what's on your TBR. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!